a lot of people are good at basketball, and they say, "I want to teach. I want to develop other kids. I want to start something like Halford Hoops."
Yeah.
And then they just fall flat on their face because they don't get in the minutia of running a business.
Yeah.
Now that seems like that's a completely different set of skills that you need in order to make that the business that you have turned it into, and coaching basketball. Those are two different skill sets, and how do you differentiate those? When are you Skyler, the manager, and when are you the coach, Halford?
Yes, as soon as I walk onto those lines on the court, like I become coach, and that's kind of like a sanctuary for me in some ways, because I can leave, the stresses of, because there are stresses of being an entrepreneur. It's natural. I think it's normal too, but that's like a sanctuary for me where I can leave the world behind and just enter in, be coach, hanging out with the players, and that's really fun. But then once I leave those lines, I'm a lot more than just that business owner manager, right? There's also the line drawn once I step inside my house.
Yes,
my wife lets me know that. But yeah, so it's being able to put on the hat of like, okay, I'm passionate. I love these kids. I want to help them so much. And then also like, okay, now I've got to step over and look at these numbers. Are we going to make sure we can provide still a good program and situation for these kids, or a good environment for them, which deals with numbers, it deals with making tough decisions, it deals with hiring, firing, it deals with a lot of hard things sometimes too, but you do that because in the end it's going to teach the core value is that it's teaching these kids these life lessons that are going to be important for them forever, really. Right. So yeah, they're maintaining those two sides and being able to do that. I enjoy it, going back and forth, because it gives me, my job doesn't become monotonous. Like it's just there's variety to it.
I imagine that it's a little bit difficult on either side of that line, because on this side you want every kid that wants to have an experience, you want to provide them with whatever they need, whether they can afford it or not.
Yeah.
But on the other side, if you're not profitable, you can't stay in business, and you can't provide for anyone.
100%.
So there has to be a line where you say, we have to make money at this. It can't just be altruistic. It has to be profitable as well. How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, it's, value is in the eyes of like the customer, right? Like we provide a service, and knowing the numbers of what we need to do to provide that really good service, I have that in my mind. And so I know we need to set this benchmark of, right? And so we do have some other things. Like we have some online programs that are relatively, low cost for people to get into. We post content every day with drills and stuff because we want to help people, right? Because there's an element of business to that too, right? You got the top of your funnel and wanting to get people in who may just be learning about you for the first time, right? And it's like they're not going to buy from you or ready to buy from you right away. And there could be people who might not be ready but have the funds to do it. And there might be people who really aren't ready but also don't have the funds and may never have the funds. So you try to meet as much as you can. You're never going to, and at least in my experience thus far, you're never going to make everyone happy. You're going to do your best, but you're never going to make everyone happy. So yeah, because I also, one of the things that I've been learning that right now is like every decision, I'm trying to make all my decisions based on, is it good for the company? Is it good for the people in the company that are working for us? And is it good for our customer? And I try to hit all three of those things at the same time. And sometimes, right, there will be things that hit one or two and don't hit the third. And so I'm like, okay, we can't quite make that decision. We need to do something else to figure out a way to hit all those three areas. So for me, it's basically like you establish that pattern. And then if people decide not to, I don't take it personally. I also don't make it so I feel like that person isn't going to have a great life because they didn't work with us. There's lots of great things in life, lots of great passions, but yeah, it's a good question, but that's kind of that's how my mind goes about that.
I love that you've narrowed it down to those three key items, because that's really, any business needs to meet those three key items in order to be successful. And the fact that you've done that in a basketball camp really shows that there's not a lot of difference between any kind of businesses out there when you're dealing with people and profits.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.